Hej, jeg hedder Raymond. Og jeg fik en venneanmodning på Facebook i går fra en Sofie Ryge. Skriver til mig her til formiddag. Hej Raymond, jeg hedder Sofie. Jeg er journalist på P1 Morgen. Og jeg vil høre, om du vil anmelde den nye dokumentarserie Tigerking på Netflix for os. Måske se den på computeren, mens du optager dine egne reaktioner og kommentarer. Det har jeg sagt ja til. Jeg tænkte først, nej, vel. Men det kunne jo være meget sjovt at få at prøve det her. Jeg har prøvet rigtig meget efterhånden. Så jeg prøver det her med at skulle anmelde den her, mens jeg optager mig selv. Og fortælle lidt. Halløj. Jeg er kommet 2 minutter ind i serien. Den er okay fangende, selvom det ikke lige er noget, jeg interesserer mig specielt meget for. Den handler om tiger. Den handler om løver. Den handler lidt om legemord. Men lad os nu se. Så jeg fortsætter pænt med at se den, mens I kan sidde og se på mit kønne ansigt.
Than there are in the wild throughout the world.
Come here, you sexy beast. Hi, little man.
Look at a big smile. There you go. Show them paws.
And you would not believe how many sheriffs told me, oh yeah, just down the street, there's a guy that has a lion or a guy down there that has a tiger. They just feel very strongly that these are mine and nobody's going to take them from me.
I'll tell you, it's real simple. Don't own big, dangerous, exotic animals because it's a time bomb. Everybody has a story. Everybody that's owned one, it's always been a bad ending.
I've been doing this 20 years, never even been bit. It's okay. It's okay.
Our mission is to ban the private possession of these magnificent animals.
She wanted to shut down his zoo, and he wanted her gone.
The so-called Tiger King.
He is on trial, accused in a murder-for-hire plot.
Joe Exotic is accused of paying a person to murder Carol Baskin.
Long before he was ever indicted in these charges, Joe Exotic was someone that makes good TV, makes good news. Even if it's a train wreck, you can't help but look.
He's a completely insane, gay, gun-toting, drug addict fanatic.
He wasn't real. He was like a mythical character living out in the middle of bumfuck Oklahoma.
The well-known zoo owner was taken into custody.
He could be looking at nearly 80 years in prison.
When I leave this park, I wear a bulletproof vest. That is how bad this has gotten.
There is so many strange twists in that story. You would have to write books, volumes of the stuff that went wrong there.
Let me show and tell the whole thing. Because then you'll get it. Then you'll say, Jesus fucking Christ. Why are you in jail?
Starten i sig selv på den her serie er meget forvirrende. Man får en hel masse informationer. Jeg er kommet 4 minutter ind, 3 minutter og 54 sekunder. Og det ser ud som om det her, det rigtig starter. Det starter i Homestead, Florida, 5 år før. Ved jeg ikke helt, hvad jeg snakker om, men 5 år før de rigtige events, de begynder. Så ja, lad os bare se videre.
Okay, this is good. Right here. And how old is she?
She's 23 years old.
When I started this project, I had no idea it would consume 5 years of my life and end up as ugly as it did. It all began when I was investigating a notorious reptile dealer in South Florida.
See how the snake stresses? That's when the venom shoots out. That's enough to kill everybody in this room 3-4 times over.
A guy showed up one day wanting to buy a venomous snake.
We hadn't even offered them for sale yet. These are those real young ones, you know.
And when he was leaving, he said, check out what I just bought. In the back of this guy's van was a snow leopard.
Oh, shit.
It was 100 degrees outside.
Do they need to be refrigerated? Or, I mean, you know,
Not if
because
they're acclimated in Florida, you know, if they're born and raised here in Florida.
Are these as rare as the clouded leopard?
These are rarer than the clouded leopard.
It just blew my mind. What is a snow leopard doing in the back of this guy's hot van? That set me on this journey to really understand what is going on with people keeping big cats in this country.
Oh, little girl.
Maybe take it off.
Oh, you don't want to take it off. Your whole audience will say, "Oh my God, that guy has a mullet."
No, I like it. I like it.
Oh my God, you're all muddy. You're all muddy, my sexy tiger.
You raised these?
These were grown up in my house. Yep. So we've got like 8 of them in there now. People every day they're like, "You must have the most incredible life to live with 187 big cats." I started building this in 1999. Believe it or not, this was a completely empty field. And over 16 years, it's grown into this. My name's Joe Exotic, and this is Thunder and Lightning. The only difference between my pet and your pet is mine have 3-inch teeth and they weigh 400 pounds. Does it feel good to stand on my stage with 500-pound tigers and everybody envy you? Absolutely, okay? I would be the biggest liar if I said no. Now stop. It's a brand new shirt. Now quit.
Do you have a sense of bonding with them, or do you have a... Ooh. Is there like an emotional connection between you and these cats?
A very emotional connection between me and these cats. Extreme. That's his deal right now. I mean, his whole deal is about just wanting petted and loved on, you know? It's just, they're so affectionate.
Are these trying to mate?
Well, they're 2 boys.
Oh, they're 2 boys.
We have a very open relationship here. We do not discriminate here. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to the Greater Wonderwood Exotic Animal Park. I got to show you, you're going to get closer to tigers and lions here than you will anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact, you're going to get so close, I can almost promise you some of you will be urinated on. If that happens, we have T-shirts at the gift shop that says, "I got peed on by a tiger."
All right, everybody, what I need you guys to do is walk right on down the fence line right here. You're going to follow Katrina. We're going to introduce you guys to your first dangerous animal.
I'm kind of embarrassed to say it, but when I got here, I was on kind of the end of my ropes. I found this place on Craigslist, and I was like, man, I ain't never done this shit before. What the fuck? Let's go. And now, look at me. I'm doing tiger shows.
I've been the manager of the GW Zoo for 14 years now. Most of the staff was unique. That's what I thought was really, really cool about this zoo. And then there's Joe.
Do the dance, do the dance, do the dance, do the dance. I love you so much.
The people who worked for Joe were misfits, and they were a family. It was a place where all these misfits could come together and be with the king of misfits who reigned over them.
Joe is an entertainer by nature. He was pretty much the star of his own show.
I'm gonna try and get some good shots, so make sure y'all get me some promo pictures in there. No, I want you up front with a still camera.
Meeting him in person definitely solidified that.
Woke up this morning with the sunshine in my eyes. It's funny how a smile can change the words you want to say.
For Joe, the zoo was his stage. It was the one place he could shine. He could control every aspect of it. From the start of the day to the end of the day, he filmed everything.
Come here, love me. Come here, love me.
He had this live TV show that he would do for a number of his followers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to JoeExoticTV.com. Yeah,
Where does your TV show air?
On the internet, worldwide, every night at 6 o'clock. Pretty cool. Come in.
Joe had been doing these internet broadcasts either on a regular basis or periodically for probably a decade or longer before I got there.
Didn't Johnny Carson used to smoke on the set of the Tonight Show?
Years ago.
He never had more than 80 people watching the thing live.
See you Monday night.
When I walked in, I had all this experience. I had national reputation.
If you watch us often, you know one of our reporters, Rick Kirkham, is nuts.
With a mere touch of the flame, it was instant Kirkham kebab.
Hey, Mike, get the charcoal.
You know, I've done a lot of shit in my life, but I've never experienced anything like Joe Exotic. He knew that I could make him famous. I took it to a new level because I made it look like a real television show.
We did a show every night, and I want to say 9 out of 10 shows was about the animal rights people and Carol down in Florida.
One thing you're forgetting out there, you animal rights people, and especially Carol Baskin, and that's Carol Baskin down at Big Cat Rescue. It was all part of Carol Baskin's plan with Peter, the Carol Baskin. Carol Baskin is so influential that Carol Baskin and Carol Baskin.
Man, if he ever had an enemy in his life, it was Carol Baskin.
Hi, I'm Carol Baskin, and I'm the founder and CEO of Big Cat Rescue. We're the world's largest accredited sanctuary that is devoted entirely to caring for big cats.
Since 2006, we've been in this pissing match over tigers.
If there's one thing I know for sure, it's that big cats don't belong in cages.
I kept to myself, I did my own thing, and I picked up an Oklahoma newspaper one day. And here's this story about this trashy little roadside zoo. And it was me. Her whole plan is to get her following to believe that we're abusing tigers and running us all out of business.
Your destination is ahead on the right.
Here comes Carol.
Oh, she's dressed perfectly.
More like this. You may get down so you've got just cat.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Thank you. Okay.
Der er nu kommet cirka 13 minutter ind. Passer ikke. 12 minutter og 40 sekunder ind i den her serie. Og ja. Den eneste sammenligning, jeg har kunnet finde mellem Dalgårds Tivoli, der er faktisk 2 sammenligninger på Dalgårds Tivoli og den her dokumentar. Det skulle måske være, at både Leif og Tigerking startede jo i det små og voksede sig større og større. Og deres ansatte, altså deres arbejdskraft, var folk, der ikke rigtig havde andre steder at være. Ikke rigtig havde tilpasset sig det her 8-4 job. Det er umiddelbart det, som jeg lige her kan fortælle om. Ja.
This is Joseph the lion, and he came from a facility in Ohio where... I really believe in life that you can only be good at one thing. He's gonna get nasty with me. With saving the cats, it's one thing that I can fix if I can just stay focused on that. So I don't read the newspaper, I don't watch news on television unless there's a cat involved.
Where are we headed?
We're headed to Cameron and Zabu. She's saving the very best part for last because they love the turkey necks. This is Bengali, an old circus tiger. You can see how they go from being so sweet to just wanting to tear your face off, and they can do it like that. And it's like, oh, that's amazing to have that kind of range and that speed. I live, eat, and breathe ending the captivity of wild cats. And I know that I'm going to see this through. What really sets apart Big Cat Rescue from a zoo is that we are fixing the problem, they are creating the problem. People like Joe Exotic, what they are doing is breeding cats for life in cages. A tiger needs 400 square miles of territory in the wild, so there's no cage that's going to be sufficient. But the reason that we have cats in cages is to provide them a safe place to live until they die. This was our oldest cat. Black Mamba was a jaguar, Oki was an ocelot, Champlain was a Canada lynx. You're following me again. You want to lead? You can read plaques too.
I think it would be fair to say that Carol is the Mother Teresa of cats.
You're so wonderful. The very first image that my parents had of me in the cradle, it was me and the cat. I've never been a person that had friends, and so my friends were two imaginary white cats. I've always had cats in my life, and I've always felt a certain affinity toward them. I'm actually allergic to cats, so my entire house is like, tile floors, no curtains.
Den næste sammenligning, jeg har fundet, det er jo at hans børn, så vidt jeg ved, startede en meget tidlig alder med at være med i det her foretagende. Men indtil videre alt i alt en god dokumentar. Jeg er kommet ind på 15 minutter og 10 sekunder.
Metal furniture, that sort of thing.
Carol, tell me about this robe, because everything has a certain pattern.
That is cat print.
And this.
That was a gift.
And this.
This I actually had painted. Most of what I wear are cat prints. It's almost a uniform. When I go in to talk with a legislator, if I go in there dressed head to toe in cat prints, people remember, oh, that's the person that's going to be all over my case about why cats need to be protected.
Carol, you even have cat luggage.
It's always easy to find my luggage when I get off the plane.
I think it's a great look.
And this is the Tiger King gift shop where I have all of my stuff. We got honey, we got barbecue sauce, we have steak sauce, skin cream. I have sex gel for you and her.
Sex gel.
The best seller out of this gift shop is actually Tiger King underwear line. People just go crazy over them because they're all in animal print.
And do you wear these yourself?
I don't wear underwear.
You don't wear underwear?
No.
Oh.
Free ball it.
Wow.
I've been the cover of Hollywood Magazine twice. I have my first two albums that I did. This is my first album, I Saw Tiger, and this is my second album, Starstruck. And there's 28 songs and 16 music videos.
'Cause I saw Tiger, now I understand. I saw Tiger, Tiger saw man. Tell all the hunters to lay down their guns.
musik,
When
eller
I
okay?
first met Joe, I was like a month out of high school.
Hans musik, altså.
I was with Joe from 2003 to 2014, so 11 years. He showed me love, and I learned how big my heart was and how much to care.
Are you getting this? 3, 2, 1. John's a strong silent type, a man of few words, but what a hunk. At the age of 13, I knew I was gay. And I had a bad time struggling with it. When my father found out, he made me shake his hand in front of my mom and promised not to come to his funeral. So I had a real issue dealing with that. And one night I drove my car off a bridge. I broke my back and spent 5 years in braces. I went to Florida to do my therapy. And my neighbor was the manager of Lion Country Safari. And he brought home all the baby lions and baby monkeys and stuff at night to bottle feed. And that's where my attraction to exotic animals really started in. What? I know that they have a heart and a soul and a mind. I've learned from them, and they do therapy for me.
Let's see your foot, sexy lawyer.
But the animal rights people, they keep saying, I can't have these tigers.
There's a war in America that's being fought for an enormous amount of money. The animal rights activists, they want the lion's share, and they don't want to share their lions.
In addition to Joe, the most notorious cub breeder petting operation is Doc Antle. Antle is much more sophisticated, much smarter. He's fearless.
Acres makes up the preserve here. We're gonna film, you know, this is my crib here. You should go to the front door and I'll go open it and say, hi, how you doing? Come in.
Okay, good idea.
Okay, so
I like that Doc is better at directing than we are. Hey.
how you doing, guys?
Hi, it's Eric. Good. How are you?
Doing
Nice to
good.
meet
Come
you.
on in.
Thanks.
This is Swami Satchidananda, my grandfather guru, who a guy I lived with since I was a teenager. All right, so I'm Dr. Bhagavan Antle. B-H-A-G-A-V-A-N, Antle, A-N-T-L-E, Dr. Bhagavan Antle. I am the director of the Myrtle Beach Safari and the Rare Species Fund.
And speaking of incredible animals, joining us is the founder and director of Tiger.
Good afternoon, guys. This is my little girl, Bubbles. Look at the pictures there. That it really is Bubbles and I as kids together. You can see somehow both of us got way bigger over the years. I have been building this incredible preserve for people to have an interactive, up-close, uncaged experience with wildlife.
En anden ting, man måske kunne sammenligne, det er måske passionen. For det, man holder af. Drivkraften for ens liv, det kan jeg egentlig godt se. Både The Tigerking, men også Leif Dalgaard har. Jeg er nu kommet 20 minutter ind. Ja, 20 minutter og 51 sekunder ind. Så vi er næsten halvvejs igennem. Men ja, passionen, det er ens passion, der driver livsværket. Ja.
Now these big teeth also make it so that he can take down larger prey than you'd expect.
Anything's coming out here is a wee bit of a drag.
To see an animal going to chase that high-speed lure, diving into that crystal clear pool,
Look at the camera.
people become wildly stimulated at seeing that amazing stuff up close and uncaged. I am popular. I am so well known as Big Cat Guy around the world. The people who are against people having relationships with animals, period, want to destroy me because I am out there in the forefront, so known of being this guy that is in love with big cats and has them love him back.
Joe wanted to be so much like Doc Antle, he sent several of us up there to see his facility so we could do the same thing at his place.
He's taught me quite a bit as far as being able to market the zoo and make money at the zoo.
All right, so we're gonna make sure everybody's standing up. Get your turn to come down here and love on this baby tiger, because that's what you came here for.
The animal rights people like to bitch at you that cub petting is abuse, okay? In my opinion, it's the best education tool.
Now keep in mind, in the rainforest, there's no escalators, all right?
You know, people only care about saving what affects them. So you shed a baby tiger in a family's lap and they fall in love with this baby tiger, and you have 15 minutes of their undivided attention to say, look, we gotta save the rainforest because you're killing this little baby tiger, you know, where he came from. They leave with a whole different attitude.
We believe these incredible up-close experiences makes a connection between them and the wild world, opening their hearts and their wallets for us to do our worldwide conservation work.
What is the cost of admission here?
$339 is the start price, right? There's people that paid $655 for their tours today. You know, because it's dynamic price like an airline ticket. The price goes up according to how many people are coming on.
This is our third time. Second this week. Me and my wife were here Sunday.
Okay.
You can't put a price on holding a baby tiger.
That's his favorite animal.
I mean, I hit the lottery. I'll pay these people whatever they want for me to go down to the reservation every day and play with them.
We charge a premium because it costs so much to do proper care. We feed super quality food that anyone would be glad to eat themselves. It's a minimum of $10,000 a year to feed each tiger.
I can feed a tiger for $3,000 a year.
And you've got how many tigers right now?
I have 227.
So you're spending $750,000 feeding your tigers?
Just feeding. We work our ass off in order to drop that price. We have feedlots that give us 5 to 7 cows a day that die in the feedlots. The game wardens in the highway patrol call us anytime that a cow or a deer gets hit on the highway. If I was to feed nothing but cows, I'd need 30 cows a day.
I'm a baby tiger, short and stout. This is my tail and this is my mouth. I'm gonna bite you and it's gonna hurt. So why will I bite you? Because I'm a jerk. That's it.
This was actually me and my brother's dream, you know. In 1997, he was moving my sister from Dallas to Florida, and he made it 40 miles. And a drunk semi-driver hit him.
Who's this?
My brother.
That's the one you're talking about?
Yep. So when I signed the papers to shut his life support machine off and donate his organs, I promised him that he would just not be a statistic, that the people of the world would know who he is.
And that's when the GW Exotic Animal Foundation was born, in his memory. My brother, he's an angel now. I went to schools and I talked to them about drugs and alcohol, but I couldn't keep their attention, okay? So I took animals.
When we say to drugs, we say no to drugs, that's right. Because drugs make your teeth fall out, and you get really ugly and you don't have any friends.
Animals just wasn't enough, okay? So then I started adding magic.
He put on a magic show, which actually was pretty cool. He would use animals in it.
He had a 12-year-old kid kind of showing him how to do stuff.
I first met Joe when I was in the 8th grade. I helped in a show down in Norman, Oklahoma. Joe wasn't doing magic. I started showing him some of the magic that I did, and Joe supplied tigers to be used during the show.
We're talking this morning about the upcoming Mystical Magic of the Endangered show. It's coming to the Valley View Mall.
That's when he decided to change his name to Joe Exotic.
My real name is Joe Schraubel. I go by Joe Exotic because nobody ever knows how to stay private.
When we first started out, we were all crammed in a semi. 14 of us in a cab of a semi. That's a little cramped.
Today we have a Siberian tiger, an Indo-Chinese tiger, a two-toed sloth, a black panther.
Joe was taking tiger cubs, stick them in a semi, and cart them to malls all throughout the Midwest.
And they would do cub petting. You can take your picture with this little baby cub.
Look at me! Awesome.
I mean, there was times that we may have made 10 grand at the mall. And there was times that we were doing 20, 30, 40 grand.
Howard and Carol hired me at the beginning of 2011 to basically try to track Joe and convince the malls to not allow him to exploit cubs.
We started a program where we would contact the malls and explain to them why this was bad.
At one point, we used someone to follow Joe and report what mall they were going to next.
But the animal's presence isn't only...
It was, you know, part detective work to try to track down Joe and where he was in the country with these cubs.
And they stalk every move you make. Doesn't matter where you are in the country.
They would research it, find the owners of the mall, and email them, text them, call them, send the media out there, everything, just hammer them.
Now, years ago, when Carol first started doing this, we might generate 500 emails.
And be proud of it.
Yeah, and as our online audience grew and our supporter base grew, this gradually got up to thousands of emails, sometimes as many as 5,000 or 6,000 emails. And one by one, these malls started refusing to have him back.
That would pay the bills for the winter sometimes. So it was definitely a big loss for us. But Joe always found a way to make money.
One of the most popular adventures here at the Greater Wynwood Exotic Animal Park is a ticket for you, and that's private playtime with a baby tiger.
Anybody who poses with an exotic cat is a problem, and that just drives more and more and more breeding of these cats who will never live free.
Tiger selfies, a big trend on a dating app. The tiger selfie is a growing trend on sites like Tinder and OkCupid, apparently.
Oh, yeah. And this is how endangered species can save themselves, by helping us get laid.
Wild animals have been brought on to the late night shows.
How do you hold these in? Yeah, I would love to get your breast.
And when people see that, they want to emulate it.
Go ahead. All right, yesterday on my day off, I went to the GW Zoo. Shout out to Exotic Joe. I got 2 more tigers.
Yeah, look at me how young I am there on Letterman. Man, go back. We might as well do Letterman real quick. Here I am long ago on The Late Show with David Letterman. I've got my big panther there, Shadow. Jay brought us out into the forefront of people. He got to meet my animals like no one else had ever done. The world's biggest cat coming on there, baby tigers, cheetahs, leopards, everybody out there. Enough?
Here I am in costume, playing Marvelous Bhagavan, the Magic Man, and the cubs played themselves.
I don't remember a time where it wasn't everything I was doing, having animals in my life. I grew up a professional cowboy in a family of professional cowboys. That led me along to be able to have a quality life of a lot of interaction with amazing domestic and wild animals. I moved to Yogaville in Buckingham, Virginia. I started immersing myself in that life, and I saw the incredible power of presenting the animals without barriers, without caging, so that you can really get to see them in all of their power and glory. People in Hollywood, people in other places came to me and said, hey, we need a tiger to do this. We would like a tiger to do that.
You are a good kitty.
I made 500 gigantic international movies, from Ace Ventura, Jungle Book, Dr. Dolittle, Mighty Joe Young. It's a huge list of features that we made.
Today we're going to take those same techniques that Doc created while working with Hollywood's top producers and directors to create for you an amazing animal adventure.
Have you guys had your photo taken already? No, keep coming, keep coming.
The toenails you gotta watch because they rip your face. Grandma? 6 weeks. From the time that they're 4 weeks old to the time that they're 16 weeks old, you can profit $100,000 on that cub. Interaction, playtimes, photos.
People who pimp out tiger cubs can only use them from the time that they're a few weeks old until they're about 12 weeks old. And when they get to be that age, they can take a finger off. There are enough ignorant people out there who will then take in that tiger, and a year later, that cat's 200 or 300 pounds, and they're calling us and saying, please get this out of my house. At the same time, there's almost no government regulation of private possession, which I believe is leading to the unbelievable number of these cats in captivity. We have a tiger crisis in this country.
Jeg ved ikke, om det passer, men i USA, der kan man åbenbart bare købe en tiger og så holde
lion on Mount Perry Ridge in Gray Shot.
Som et pet, som kæledyr.
It was heading west in a hurry. Looks like a jaguar or a wolf or something.
Zanesville really woke up the public about the fact that there could be dangerous wild animals living right next door to them, and they didn't even know it.
I walked out in front of me and they was standing there under the street light.
Sheriff Matt Lutz said 50 wild animals kept on a private farm had been deliberately set loose.
1 baboon, 3 mountain lions, and 18 tigers.
Yeah, anything outside the perimeter definitely gets taken down.
To the unbelievable number of these cats in captivity. We have a tiger crisis in this country.
A lion on Mount Perry Ridge in Gray Shot. It was heading west in a hurry. Looks like a jaguar or a wolf or something.
Zanesville really woke up the public about the fact that there could be dangerous wild animals living right next door to them, and they didn't even know it.
They was standing there under the street light.
Sheriff Matt Lutz said 50 wild animals kept on a private farm had been deliberately set loose.
1 baboon, 3 mountain lions, and 18 tigers.
Yeah, anything outside the perimeter definitely gets taken down.
The animals were unleashed on the town by a man who kept them in his backyard.
I believe that there are a number of ticking time bombs out there, and when those places implode and somebody does something crazy, that will probably push our legislation forward.
48 of his animals were eventually killed, pushing Ohio lawmakers to author a new bill restricting private ownership of exotic pets.
It's not that having lions and tigers is bad unto itself. It is the way he took care of them that made it take place. Properly managed wildlife can become a great tool for wildlife education like this man.
Arguably the loudest, most defiant voice on the front lines of the big cat debate belongs to this man.
I'm Joe Exotic and this is Sarge.
The president of the Humane Society called this place, and I quote, a ticking time bomb, and potentially 10 times worse than Zanesville.
It is a ticking time bomb. If somebody thinks they're going to walk in here and take my animals away, it's going to be a small Waco.
That's a pretty powerful statement.
It's a very powerful statement because I have poured my entire life into what I do. Nobody is going to walk in here and freely shut me down and take my rights away from me as long as I am not breaking the law.
You know, I've been sheriff here now for over 8 years, and our community gets its share of crime, drug use, burglaries, domestic assaults. But then there's Joe Exotic. You know, within a year of becoming sheriff, Joe walks into my office. From that point on, it's been nonstop, you know, with the GW Zoo and Joe.
The thing you don't want when you have tigers, folks, is a real life tornado, and there ain't nothing you can do besides protect yourself.
I've gotten a lot of calls to, you better watch Joe, he's doing this, he's saying that. One of the things that keeps me awake at night is the park.
You're an animal rights person, and you try and come into this facility, this is what you're going to be greeted with.
Joe was a very paranoid person. When I really realized Joe was potentially dangerous was when he made a comment about this could be another Waco.
That standoff near Waco began as a federal raid when federal agents tried to serve a search warrant.
Our hearts go out to these brave agents who died today in the line of duty.
And I took that as a direct threat that if my office ever had to take some action out there, we were going to have a shootout.
This is my own little town. I'm the mayor, the prosecutor, the cop, and the executioner.
You know, after the Waco deal, me and Joe made a pact. If anything went bad, we were going to shoot each other. And on that day, I put our names on our bullets. Right here, they have my name and his name on a bullet. If anything went wrong, it was going to happen.
What kind of camera guy are you?
Someone like Joe, who is very polarizing, he can draw out people to oppose him.
Oh, fuck yeah!
No, for instance, I mean, I would get a little cutout postcard like this addressed to me, picture of Joe with the word evil on it. That was really the point. I realized, you know, there's people that are opposite of what Joe believes in.
I have defended myself since 2006 against people for the ethical treatment of animals.
Carol Baskin was supported by the help of PETA to the point that they've actually made me a target now.
PETA is unapologetic in its mission to help animals, and we've been targeting Joe Exotic for many, many years. I think that we can't underestimate how dangerous some of these people are.
They think that animals are being beat wherever they go. We didn't beat tigers at our zoo. We sure got accused of it.
Those people are fucking insane, man. Actually, they scare me.
Joe is always armed. There's always a gun at his side.
What do you carry that gun for?
People?
Not the cats.
Not the cats. I'd shoot you before I shot my cat. We have 24-hour armed guards. 3 of us wear firearms. That is how bad this has gotten.
I sleep with an AK-47 under my mattress. Loaded, ready to roll.
Joe, he had threats all the time on Facebook. He had problems with PETA coming onto the park and taking pictures and stuff like that and trying to discredit him. So he needed extra security.
Over the course of 8 years, I would guess we have probably taken 40 to 50 police reports from Joe. Then we have had people try to get on that park.
This guy has been videotaping it, and we warned him twice, and he claims he's with PETA. The main thing is
just investigating some animal rights issues that might be happening.
They take things to the extreme. Have you got a tiger in a zoo in a cage? Yeah. How you gonna keep him from running downtown and going to 7-Eleven?
Carol, PETA, those characters want to attack everyone. Carol wants to be the last man standing. There can be only one, and it has to be her.
She's got tens of thousands of people out there brainwashed that we're abusing animals. I just called her a plain-out hypocrite. You're open to the public. You're doing bone tours, night tours, day tours, kid camps, weddings, you name it.
If you're taking photos and stuff, it'd be great if you would use the hashtag Big Cat Rescue. So you can find us there, go ahead and open the gates and go see some cats.
It's moneymaker for them.
These tickets sold out really fast, and so we're so happy to see all you guys.
If you're not fucking exploiting animals at that point, what the hell are you doing?
These guys are checking out Max and Mary Ann.
Carol is, I would have to say, a hero of mine.
She is an awesome advocate for cats.
These animals have a life to live now, a happy life to live.
And I tell everyone this is like the Ritz-Carlton of animal sanctuaries, because you just do an amazing job.
Stop this, you can make me cry.
In my opinion, Carol Baskin was as bad as Joe. They were both, you know, taking advantage of exotic animals to make money. So to me, it was just a feud.
Carol Baskin. Yep, that lady that profits over $1.5 million sucking on your heartstrings about shit on the internet that ain't even true.
They are always trying to upset me on social media.
I got a big mouth on a television station.
And that works.
It seems to be.
Why would you give to a facility to rescue animals to live in luxurious cages? Well, how about that one? That mountain lion sticking his head through a hole in the fence in order to drink out of it.
Joe started bashing her, she started bashing him.
You know, getting them all shows canceled.
And she put up billboards, and she made this 911 animal abuse site. Joe was one of the top contenders on it.
Carol would now and then put up something online about how Joe's breeding and he's bad and all this, and he would go off on his internet show.
I consider that bitch to be one of the biggest terrorists in the exotic animal world right now.
It is financially draining to fight this woman.
To give you a little bit of background on Joe, all you got to do is go to tigercubabuse.com. We got undercover video of him using a 20-week-old cub that jumped on this little boy and bit him on the leg.
She's ruthless. Most of us are not ruthless. People who really love animals are rarely ruthless.
There shouldn't have to be a place that rescues big cats from abuse in this country. What we're asking you to do is champion the Big Cat Public Safety Act.
The Big Cat Public Safety Act would end the ownership of big cats as exotic pets and prohibit exhibitors from allowing the public to have contact with them.
The Big Cat Safety Act, if passed, it will destroy private zoos across America.
For Carol and all of her friends that are watching out there, before you bring me down, it is my belief that you will stop breathing.
It got pretty ugly.
We hear it's Carol's birthday next month, and we're shipping her 2 of these. Look at the fangs on that.
One day I went out to open up the mailbox and it just exploded with snakes. There are crazy people out there who want to see me dead.
Happy birthday, Carol.
What keeps me up at night is worrying about them hurting a family member to get to me.
It was just a hate. He has a hate for Carol Baskin. Nasty hate.
$100 rounds of 223.
You got it. Is going to be it, or do you need any explosives today?
Carol's taking a nap.
There, I got every animal rights person all in one row.
Dynamite. Ready?
Aim. Fire.
This is a prepaid call from
Joe Exotic.
an inmate at the Grady County Jail.
I'm in a cage. You know why animals die in cages? Their soul dies. I'm not going to be accused and go to prison and lose everything I have for things that other people did. Before this is over with, I'm going to shut down on everybody.
Så kommer vi til rulleteksterne. Okay. Det var et vildt første afsnit, det må jeg sgu sige. Hvor stor sammenligning det er mellem Dalgårds Tivoli og så det der. Det er jo to helt forskellige verdener. Sammenligningen skulle måske være passionen for det, man holder af og laver. Ja. Og så det, man hyrer ansatte, som bare ikke har andre store steder i verden. Det er måske de sammenligninger, jeg kan se. Men et vildt afsnit. Jeg blev sgu fanget til sidst, det må jeg sige. Men de første 20 minutter var godt nok lidt kedelige. Jeg håber, du kunne bruge det her til noget, Sofie. Hej.